what I would like to discuss is a savings account, a forced savings on the legislative part. We have two choices in the state. We can, one, either change our revenue structure, or two, do some savings. Now, in the past 10 years, twice we've been in a position of where we've needed to have additional reserves, but have failed to provide that reserve for the state of Oregon. You can do that by one of two ways. One is you can change your revenue structure, but that usually entails a sales tax, and that isn't going to happen, so therefore let's take that one off the table. The second thing is to have a savings account. What we need to do in this state is legitimize, one, is the reserve accounts of our departments. We'll let them pool that together, and we only would need maybe 2/3 to half of that amount of reserves to sustain the departments for a 2 or 3 month reserve. The second thing that the legislative branch needs to do, and they need to have the discipline and they need to have the accountability by the voters, is to have an upfront savings account. What I mean by that is the system we have today takes on the ending fund balance a certain percentage, which if you have zero in the ending fund balance, you have saved absolutely zero. So what I propose is that we save 3% up front of the general fund. Example, if you have $15 billion coming in for your general fund, and you know you save approximately $450 million of that set aside. So let's consider that and put that in a savings account and make the legislative body do that until they accumulate the amount of 15% of the total reserve account of the general fund. Example, until they get 1.5 billion on 15 billion. Then things would go back to what they've normally done. We continue to do the same thing over and over again and expect results to vary. They do not vary. We always end up back here scrapping for money on bad years and have lots of money and flush with money on good years. We never save any money. The only thing that we seem to accomplish real well in this building is to expand government. And we cannot sustain government by the way we expand it. We know that. So if we built up a savings account, made sure that it was tough to access it, similar to what we have in the rainy day fund and the school fund, and go on that approach and do a force feeding on every positive year that we have a positive growth in our economy, that we need to knock out 3% towards that savings account until we accumulate 15%, then I think we would weather this storm just fine. But until we do that, until we quit being irresponsible, we will be back in the same position we are today. So therefore, I propose that we do a savings account.